So we are at the end of 2019, and as it is the end of 2019, I figured I would go through and discuss a lot of the major series that are in the book community that ended in 2019. This isn't a long list, this is pretty much like all of the popular YA books that ended in 2019. So I have not read all the series that are on this list. This is just a compiled list of ones that I'm either anticipating reading or the ones that have finished all in 2019. I compiled a list of all the ones that are now finished, and if you guys are the type of people, because I'm like this, who like to binge a series after it's already been completed, then stay tuned because I'm going to be discussing all of the series where the final book came out in 2019. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. This is the Scythe trilogy, or the Arc of Scythe trilogy by Neal Shusterman. We have waited almost 2 years for the Toll to come out, and I'm happy to say that it is finally here for us to enjoy. I have read it, I've completed it, and I loved it. The Arc of Scythe series is basically this dystopian society, or utopian society, depending on how you viewed it, which is great. Which is one of the great things about this world, because yes, it is considered a place where death is mastered, but there are also masters of death called Scythe. And so depending on how you look at this will depend on how you feel whether or not this is a dystopian or utopian society, which is, I kind of like the parallel between the two. So people don't really die anymore. They have somebody called a Thunderhead who helps to take care of everyone and fill in the blanks. And it's just a really amazing series. It's very well fleshed out, it's very immersive, and it's one of my top series that I really enjoyed in 2019. The next series that has finished in 2019 is the Renegade series by Marissa Meyer. This is a science fiction trilogy about superheroes, and you have the good guys and you have the bad guys. And honestly, that's really all I needed to know about it. This is one of these series that I do anticipate reading in 2020, now that it is 100% complete, ready to go, and out in the world. I have been waiting for this to complete since the very first book came out, and I'm very excited. Marissa Meyer is also the author of the Lunar Chronicles, which I also really loved, which are a fairy tale science fiction quartet. And I really love those. I read those a few years ago and they just kind of stuck with me. So I'm really looking forward to digging into this as well, because I'm looking for more of her stuff to stick with me in the years to come. This is going to be really amazing. Another series that I have read that I am really excited about that completed this year, because we were not expecting it, it was kind of a gift from Holly Black, is the Cruel Prince series, and she released The Queen of Nothing this year. This is the final book in the trilogy. These books are very short. They're all about 300 pages each. They're not very long, and they all take place in the land of Elfheim, which is kind of parallel to the mortal world, but it's in fairyland. And you have this young girl named Jude who is a full human who's growing up in fairyland, and she's actually able to lie, whereas the fairies are not. It's one of her special abilities according to the Fae. So there's a lot of intrigue, there's a lot of political workings in this. There's a little bit of romance too, and it's just a really great series, and I really loved it. I know this is a very popular series on BookTube, but it's also a very popular series in my heart as well, because I really love Cardan and Jude to hell and back. So one of the other series that finished this year is definitely my top favorite series of all time. Another series that ended in 2019 is the Bone Witch series by Rin Chiapeko. The last book in this series is called Shadowglass, and this is all about a necromancer named T. T in this world is considered a bone witch if she's a necromancer, and necromancy is not a popular art of witchcraft or an articulation of witchcraft. So she ends up getting sent away to learn more about it. That's all I know really about the first book. I was drawn to the covers originally because the covers are just gorgeous. But I was also really drawn to the storyline after I ended up getting into the covers. So I'm so excited for that one as well. That one's also been completed. Another series that completed in 2019 is the Nevernight trilogy. The last book is called Dark Dawn and is written by J. Kristoff. This is also another very dark, very adult fantasy about a young girl named Mia Corvier who is learning how to kill and murder because she's trying to avenge her family that was killed by one of the diplomats in this world. And she decides that she's going to go off and become part of the Dark Mother, and she's going to go away to school and become a assassin, like a top of the line, knows everything, poisons, footwork, martial arts, you know, all of that stuff. Like, you know, just a well-rounded assassin. And so there's one place that she has to do this. This is a very bloody series. When all is blood, blood is all. You know? So it's just very, very immersive, and it's very dark. There's a lot of cussing. It's very intense, but I absolutely love this. And I actually loved the finale of this as well. It was written very well. I'm not going to tell you what it reminds me of, but I loved it. So definitely one of my favorites, and you definitely should check that one out. The next series that also ended in 2019 is the Winter Night Trilogy. The last book is The Winter of the Witch, written by Catherine Arden. This is a Russian fantasy folklore trilogy that I've heard just amazing things about, and like there's like stuff lurking in the woods, and it's now a completed series as well, which I'm just so stoked about, because I'm finally gonna be able to sit down and read it in 2020. So for all those that know me, I haven't gotten to this book yet, but I'm hoping to get to it before the end of the month so that I can just finish up this trilogy. Quartet. I don't know why I keep saying trilogy. It's a quartet. It's the Capturing the Devil, which is in the Stalking Jack the Ripper quartet by Carrie Maniscalco. And this is a historical fiction that uses real-life serial killers in the books, just real-life facts about those serial killers, to kind of make a fictional story that's loosely based on those serial killers. It's really, really fun. I really enjoy this series. I love, love, love Audrey Rose and Thomas Cresswell. Like, they are just everything. And I just love this series. So I'm really excited like that they ended it, and I was able to read pretty much the whole series this year, and I want to be able to finish that one too. So good. So very amazing. The last book series that I'm going to go over is a trilogy, and it is Finale by Stephanie Garber in the Caraval series. This is a series that takes place in a circus, and there's like a love affair in it, and it looks like there's like a lot of magic and a lot of intrigue. This is now also a completed series, and completed I think about 5 or 6 months ago, and I still haven't gotten to it, so I'm hoping to get to that one soon too. So there was a lot of stuff that ended in 2019 as we get to the end of 2019, so I kind of wanted to do a celebration of all of these series that are now completed, that are out there for you to enjoy. I hope you guys like this video. If you guys like this video, hit the little like, hit subscribe, and hit the little bell icon if you guys want to receive emails every time I post. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Amazon, and Goodreads. Those links are linked in the description below, and I will see you guys again very soon.